All right, viewers, we are cutting across to these breaking images that we had been tracking. In fact, the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, has just reached the Al-Hakim Mosque. Let me bring in our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, on the broadcast as well. Abhishek, we're tracking these images of the Prime Minister having reached the Al-Hakim Mosque. Please speak to us about the significance of these images that we're seeing on our screens.
Priyanka, the significance obviously is that Prime Minister is emphasizing the people-to-people connect between India and Egypt. It's a very important strategic geography. And imagine the kind of neglect it feels that this is the first time in 27 years that an Indian Prime Minister is visiting Egypt and is there. Yesterday, Prime Minister had a meeting with the Grand Mufti of Egypt, with whom, of course, he had the same meeting in New Delhi also just a couple of months back. We had Egypt as the chief guest with President Al-Sisi coming in on 26th of January. And again, he would be coming again for the G20 summit where we have made Egypt a special invitee nation. But what is important is that Al-Hakim Mosque is about 1,000 years old and the Bohra community has a special connect with that mosque. And they have, in fact, renovated the mosque, which is now being seen by the Prime Minister. Prime Minister has had a very strong personal bond with the Bohra community from his Gujarat days, so that's the personal part. But I think what is being underscored is that we have old traditional relationships which add to the evolving modern strategic and going beyond transactionalism, durable partnerships that are being built now brick by brick. So Prime Minister, after having done that successful visit to the United States, is now in Egypt. He has met with something called India Unit, which is a special unit of the cabinet level set up by President Al-Sisi to engage with India on economic issues, geo-economic issues. He had the chairman of the Suez Canal Authority in New Delhi just last week, and they have offered India a permanent zone in the Suez Canal region, and this is significant because apart from India, only China and Russia have it as of now. And remember, Suez Canal is on the most important trade route, connects the Red Sea with the Mediterranean. And having an outpost there gives that much strategic depth to our presence in the Middle East and North Africa region. Egypt has influence over Arabic world. It's an Arabic nation despite being in North Africa. And so that connect with the Arab world also. So these are important aspects which are getting highlighted. Also in the backdrop of recent controversy, it should be said, we don't remember how many times Barack Obama visited the mosque. And this is not the first time Prime Minister is visiting a mosque. He has done that with the Abu Dhabi Mosque. He has done that with the Sidi Sayyid Mosque in Ahmedabad. He has done that with the Sarkhe-Roza in Ahmedabad. He has done that with that famous old mosque in Kerala. He has done that with the Madrasa and Mosque in Mumbai. He has done that with the mosque in Indore. So Barack Obama perhaps would be watching these pictures when Obama came to Cairo. He just went to the Al-Azhar University, pontificated on what the Muslim world should be doing, and left. But here we have Prime Minister who's there in Cairo and takes time out to go and visit a mosque as well. So irrespective of whether Prime Minister really responds or speaks in response to what Barack Obama, the former President of the United States, said, almost gaslighting India's minority Muslim community, Prime Minister does what he does, and he's making this outreach, he's communicating, he's connecting, he's telling the world what we are and what we do. So this is the people-to-people part. Remember, in fact, in the most recent past, apart from this Prime Minister's visit, we have had Prime Minister, India's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, and Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt coming together along with Sukarno of Indonesia to set up the non-aligned movement. But the history really goes back to ancient times, before the Christian era, when Ashokan rock edicts talk about Egypt and the connect that Ashokan Empire had. So I think that sort of reconnecting, re-establishing is happening. There is not much big Indian diaspora in Egypt, but this is increasingly important strategic geography. And through G20, through this visit, and through inviting Egyptian President on our Republic Day, I think Prime Minister's government, Modi's government, has really refocused our attention in that space, very important space when it comes to geostrategic objectives of India in the Middle East and North Africa.